Breaking alert from Pacific Ocean, Coast Guard pursuit, armored speedboat, machine guns mounted, 6 tons cocaine, high-speed chase, gunfight erupting. This is happening now. It's 11:34 a.m. Pacific Time, 400 miles southwest of San Diego, international waters, USCGC Stratton, national security cutter, 418 feet, crew of 120, counter-narcotics patrol, standard Pacific mission, then HC-130 patrol aircraft reports contact, suspicious vessel, high speed, heading north, go fast profile, probable drug smuggling. Stratton ordered intercept. Standard procedure, done 1,000 times, except this time different. This time Cartel evolved, this time everything changes. Navy alert monitoring this unprecedented interdiction, real-time coverage, breaking updates, Cartel innovation, armored speedboat, military-grade trafficking, Coast Guard under fire. At 11:47 a.m. Stratton's helicopter launches, MH-65 Dolphin, 4 crew aboard, surveillance mission, locate vessel, confirm identity, guide surface units, standard tactics. Helicopter reaches target area, visual acquisition, then shock. This isn't normal go fast, this is something new, something dangerous, something military. Vessel is armored, steel plating visible, covering entire hull, gun turret mounted forward, machine gun, belt fed, 50 caliber or larger, crew wearing body armor, helmets, combat gear. This isn't smuggling, this is warfare. Cartel vessel militarized, weaponized, prepared for combat, against Coast Guard, against interdiction, against American law enforcement. Should Coast Guard engage armed vessels? Comment Y or N. Helicopter crew reports immediately. Contact is armored speedboat, heavy weapons visible, crew armed. This is military-grade vessel. Recommend caution. Warning transmitted. Stratton captain receives. Situation assessment. Standard go-fast procedure inadequate. New tactics needed. Heavier weapons required, more force necessary, but proceeding anyway. Because mission is mission. Because drugs are drugs. Because law is law. Coast Guard doesn't retreat, doesn't surrender, doesn't quit, ever, against anything, including this. Stratton closes at maximum speed, 28 knots, but narco-boat faster, 40 knots, maybe 50. Triple outboard engines, 2,000 horsepower combined, insane speed, incredible capability, Cartel investment enormous. This vessel cost millions. Armor expensive, weapons costly, engines pricey, but cocaine cargo worth 200 million. Math simple, invest 5 million, protect 200 million. Business calculation, profit maximization, cartel economics and effective, because speed allows escape, armor provides protection, weapons enable defense, complete package, ultimate smuggling vessel. Until today, until Coast Guard, until American determination. Hit like if you support Coast Guard interdiction. At 12:15 p.m., Coast Guard Cutter launches RHIB, rigid hull inflatable boat, over-the-horizon pursuit boat, 7 meters, twin engines, heavily armed, 4 Coast Guard crew, leadette team, law enforcement detachment, tactical specialists, weapons trained, combat experienced. They've interdicted hundreds of vessels, but never one like this. Never armored, never weaponized, never militarized, new threat, unknown capabilities, uncertain outcome, but launching anyway. Because that's the job, that's the mission, that's Coast Guard, semper paratus, always ready. Even for this, even now, even against military-grade cartel boat. How much does armored narco boat cost? A, $500,000, B, $3 million, C, $8 million? RHIB accelerates 50 knots maximum, catching narco boat slowly, distance closing 5 miles, 4 miles, 3 miles. Narco boat crew sees pursuit, knows Coast Guard coming, knows interdiction attempted, decides to fight, not flee, not surrender, fight. New cartel doctrine, protect cargo, defend shipment, kill enforcers. Because cargo too valuable, because loss unacceptable, because cartel bosses demand no more surrendering, no more losing millions. Fight American authorities, kill Coast Guard, protect product, orders clear, consequences severe, crew complying, preparing weapons, training toward pursuers, ready to kill Americans, to murder Coast Guard, to commit war against United States, for cocaine, for profit, for cartel. At 12:34 p.m., narco-boat opens fire, machine gun blazing. 50 caliber confirmed, heavy rounds, armor-piercing capable, tracers arcing, rounds impacting water, short initially, then closer. Walking toward RHIB, cartel gunner adjusting, finding range, improving accuracy. RHIB crew seeing death approaching, bullets closing, impact imminent. They swerve hard, evasive maneuvers, maximum throttle, zigzagging, avoiding fire, professional boat handling, training saving lives for now, for moment. But narco-boat still firing, still pursuing, still trying to kill. This is new reality. This is cartel evolution. This is drug war escalation. Navy alert sources confirm cartels building armored fleet. Multiple vessels constructed. Mexican shipyards, Colombian facilities. Vessels cost $3 to $8 million each, but protect shipments worth hundreds of millions. Investment justified, economics clear and effective. Several Coast Guard pursuits abandoned, too dangerous. Crew safety paramount, armored boats escaping, drugs delivered, cartels succeeding through innovation, through militarization, through willingness to kill American authorities, new phase, dangerous phase, deadly phase, drug war evolving, violence escalating, Coast Guard adapting, but slowly, bureaucracy delays, procurement complicated, budget limited, meanwhile cartels innovating, faster, better, deadlier, gap widening, advantage shifting, America responding, but reactive, not proactive. Always behind, always catching up, always adapting to last threat, while cartels develop next. Is this act of war? Comment yes or no. RHIB cannot return fire effectively. When 50 caliber rifles aboard, but range inadequate, accuracy insufficient, firepower outmatched. Narco-boat has machine gun, belt-fed, stabilized mount, professional installation, military-grade capability. RHIB has rifles, handheld, unstable platform, amateur comparison, mismatch obvious, outcome predictable. RHIB withdraws, tactical retreat, survival paramount, cannot win gunfight, cannot sink vessel, cannot stop armored boat, not with current weapons, not with present capability, not without escalation, need heavier firepower, need better weapons, need helicopter gunship, need destroyer, need Navy, need something. Because Coast Guard alone insufficient against this threat, against this evolution, against this enemy. If you want breaking naval news, type Navy alert below. Stratton captain makes decision, requests Navy assistance, guided missile destroyer available, USS Sterett DDG 04, 100 miles away, maximum speed ordered but 2 hours away, narco-boat escaping meanwhile, making 40 knots, 80 miles in 2 hours, Mexican territorial waters, safe harbor, cartel protection, regime corruption, safety achieved, cargo delivered, mission accomplished, unless Stratton stops them, unless Coast Guard succeeds, unless America prevails, against odds, against armament, against innovation, somehow, some way, but how? Helicopter option considered. MH-65 Dolphin has weapons, 50 caliber rifle, precision marksman, sniper capability, could disable boat, could kill crew, could stop vessel, but risks enormous. Narco-boat has 50 caliber machine gun. Helicopter is aluminum, bullets penetrate easily, one hit could down aircraft, 4 crew killed, helicopter destroyed, risk assessment negative, reward insufficient, crew safety paramount, standoff monitor, track, report, let Navy handle. Destroyer has capability, guns, missiles, armor, everything needed. Coast Guard defers professionally, wisely, correctly, not cowardice, prudence, not weakness, wisdom, because helicopters fragile, crew precious, lives matter. More than mission, more than drugs, more than everything, lives first, always, necessarily. But Stratton has option. 57mm gun, Bofors cannon, forward deck, naval artillery, range 7 miles, accuracy excellent, firepower sufficient, could engage narco-boat, could sink vessel, could destroy cargo, but ocean conditions challenging. Target fast, moving erratically, hit probability low, collateral damage possible, crew might die, not combatants technically, smugglers, criminals, not soldiers. Coast Guard hesitates. Rules of engagement unclear, deadly force authorized against fleeing vessel, against drug smugglers, even armed ones, questions multiply, seconds passing, distance increasing, decision needed now, immediately. Captain deciding. Responsibility heavy, consequences permanent, lives at stake. Choose wrong, people die. Crew courts-martialed, career ended, but choose nothing. Drugs delivered. Cartels succeed. America loses. Impossible choice. Command burden. Leadership weight. How will this chase end? Comment your prediction. At 1:15 p.m. decision made. Fire warning shots. Demonstrate capability. Show force. Offer surrender chance. Then if refused, sink vessel. 57mm gun rotates. Targeting solution calculated. Range measured. Lead computed. Firing solution locked. Captain orders. Fire warning shot 100 yards ahead of target. Gun fires. Boom. Muzzle flash. Shell arcing. Water explosion. 100 yards from narco-boat. Perfect accuracy. Professional gunnery. Message sent. Heave to or be destroyed. Clear communication. Universal language. Violence understood. Consequences demonstrated. Narco-boat doesn't stop, doesn't slow, doesn't surrender. Instead returns fire, machine gun blazing, tracers towards Stratton, range too great, bullets falling short, impacting ocean, no threat, just defiance, just refusal, just determination. Cartel crew committed, will not surrender, will not stop, will accept death before capture, before prosecution, before losing cargo. Cartel orders absolute, boss demands obeyed, fear motivates, death penalty for failure, not American death penalty, cartel death penalty, torture, family killed, everyone murdered. That penalty, that consequence, that motivation. So crew fights, chooses American bullets over cartel torture, chooses quick death over slow, chooses ocean grave over Mexican hell. Decision made, consequences accepted, fate sealed. Stratton fires again, not warning shot, kill shot, 57mm high explosive, direct hit, narco-boat stern, engine explosion, fire erupting, speed dropping, boat slowing, trailing smoke, sinking slowly, stern underwater, bow rising, crew abandoning, jumping overboard, swimming, life jackets deployed, cocaine bales floating, 6 tons, $200 million, bobbing in Pacific swells, evidence everywhere, cargo lost, mission failed, for cartel anyway, for Coast Guard success, mostly, partially, complicated. RHIB returns, rescue mode, pulling crew from water, 4 survivors, 2 killed in explosion, 6 total aboard, 4 arrested, 2 dead. Casualties, first time Coast Guard sank drug boat, first time killed smugglers, first time used naval gunfire, against trafficking vessel, against American target, historic moment, precedent established, escalation normalized, drug war militarized, Coast Guard weaponized, cartels martyred, everyone changed, nothing same, line crossed, threshold exceeded, new phase beginning, more violent, more deadly, more militarized, because cartels forced it, because armor required response, because weapons demanded force, action and reaction, innovation and adaptation, violence begetting violence, escalation spiral, upward trajectory, dangerous path, necessary path, only path. When enemy militarizes, when criminals weaponize, when smugglers become soldiers, law enforcement must adapt, must escalate, must match threat or surrender. America doesn't surrender, Coast Guard doesn't quit. So adaptation continues, escalation proceeds, violence intensifies until when, until what, until victory, or until everyone dead. Questions unanswered, future uncertain, but present clear. Sink armed boats, kill defending crew, destroy cocaine, prosecute survivors. This is new normal. This is current reality. This is drug war 2.0, maritime combat, naval warfare, against cartels, against crime, against evil, profitable evil, organized evil, militarized evil, but evil nonetheless. Fighting back, American style, Coast Guard way, Semper Paratus way. Intelligence exploitation immediate, survivors interrogated, boat construction questioned, armor source investigated, weapons origin traced, everything examined. Armor is marine-grade steel, quarter-inch plate, professional welding, shipyard construction, not jungle workshop, not amateur fabrication, professional facility, industrial capability, cartel investing, infrastructure building, long-term planning. This boat is prototype, first generation, more coming, better armored, heavier armed, faster engines, evolution continuing because Coast Guard sank this one, so build better next one, stronger, deadlier, until unsinkable, until unstoppable. Arms race, naval warfare, on drug interdiction front, Pacific Ocean battlefield, Coast Guard versus cartels, endless competition, perpetual conflict, both sides adapting, both sides innovating, both sides escalating. Where ends? Nobody knows. Everyone fears. War continues. Until when? Until victory? Until exhaustion? Until one side quits? Cartels won't quit. Too profitable. Coast Guard won't quit. America doesn't surrender, so continues. Forever, probably. This vessel today, next vessel tomorrow. Upgraded vessel next week, better vessel next month. Cycle endless, war perpetual, but fighting anyway. Because alternative is surrender. Alternative is cartel victory. Alternative is drug flooding. Unacceptable, intolerable, impossible. So Coast Guard fights, sinks boats, arrests crews, seizes cocaine, repeats daily, wins incrementally, loses occasionally, but persists always. Because that's the mission. That's the service. That's Semper Paratus. Always ready for everything, including armored speedboats, including machine gun fire, including cartel innovation. Ready, always, forever. Technology investment urgent. Coast Guard needs better weapons, heavier guns, longer range, more firepower. Congressional authorization needed, budget appropriation required, procurement process initiated, but years away. Meanwhile, cartels upgrading, monthly, weekly, daily, gap widening, danger increasing, crew risk mounting. Something must change, something must improve, something must accelerate. Or Coast Guard crews die, American personnel killed, for cocaine interdiction, for drug war, for mission impossible, questions emerging. Worth it? Should Coast Guard fight militarized cartels? Should law enforcement conduct naval warfare? Should America escalate? Or accept some drugs get through? Uncomfortable questions, no easy answers, politicians debating, admirals planning, crews operating. Meanwhile, cartels building, arming, militarizing, not debating, not questioning, not hesitating, just adapting, just improving, just escalating, while America discusses, while bureaucracy delays, while budget limits, cartels act simple, fast, effective. That's advantage, that's edge, that's why they're winning, sometimes, occasionally. Today, Coast Guard won, tomorrow uncertain, day after unknown, but fight continues, must continue, will continue until ended, however ended, whenever ended, by whom ended, unknown, uncertain, but participating meanwhile, Coast Guard fighting, crews risking, America trying, against militarized cartels, against armored boats, against evil profit. This is drug war, this is 21st century, this is reality, ugly, violent, necessary, unfortunately. Final status: Coast Guard intercepted armored narco-boat, machine gun firefight, 57mm naval gun employed, vessel sunk, 2 smugglers killed, 4 arrested, 6 tons cocaine seized, $200 million cargo eliminated. Historic Coast Guard action, first naval gunfire against drug smugglers, precedent established, escalation normalized, cartel innovation continuing, more armored boats coming, better weapons expected, Coast Guard adapting, weapons upgrading, tactics evolving, drug war militarizing, violence intensifying, Pacific battlefield, cartels versus Coast Guard, America versus criminals, law versus profit, good versus evil, simplified perhaps, but essentially accurate. Fight continues, war persists, victory distant, but trying anyway. Because surrender impossible, because America doesn't quit, because Coast Guard semper paratus, always ready, always fighting, always winning, eventually, hopefully, necessarily. This is the mission, this is the war, this is the reality. Accept and fight, or surrender and lose. America chooses fight. Coast Guard delivers, always has, always will, through innovation, through escalation, through whatever necessary. Cartels won't stop, neither will Coast Guard. Until victory, until death, until end, whenever, however. But persisting meanwhile, forever probably. This is drug war. This is Coast Guard. This is Navy alert, where news breaks, where battles covered, where heroes honored always. The answer? C. Modern armored narco boats cost approximately $8 million. Armor expensive, weapons costly, construction complex, but protecting 200 million cargo. Investment justified, economically rational, criminally brilliant. Cartels professionalizing, militarizing, succeeding through innovation, through investment, through adaptation. Coast Guard responding, but slowly, reactively, insufficiently. Gap persists, danger continues, fight goes on. Forever, probably. Should Coast Guard receive heavier weapons? Will cartel innovation continue? Can drug trafficking be stopped? Hit like if you want real-time interdiction coverage. Subscribe to Navy Alert, where maritime news breaks first. Coast Guard operations, cartel innovation, drug interdiction, naval combat, Pacific patrols, all covered, all reported, all analyzed. This is what we do. This is why we matter. This is Navy Alert.